Hello and welcome to another That's Not a Tutorial. My name is JK, an artist from Sydney, Australia. If this is your very first time on the channel, welcome, come on in. It's bloody cold, which is why I'm wearing my grandpa jumper. Now, if this is your very first time here, and you like grandpa jumpers, maybe consider subscribing. If you do, I'll wear more of them, or less. No, definitely, I'll always wear more, I promise you. Now, today's video, I just finished a big 9.5 hour mammoth illustration drawing Spider Piggy up there. There it is. So I thought, let's draw Spider Pig. Not long enough in the video to draw a background like that as well, because as I said, 9.5 hours, but we will discuss the background and have a look at the details and talk all about that. But without further ado, let's draw Spider Pig. Alright, Spider Pig does whatever is... Alright, enough of my singing. Let's draw a Spider Pig. I'm using Canvas 30s for 500 by 500. 300 doth DPI. I'm going to use a sketching pencil Peppermint. I'm going to draw in, probably not red, because I'm going to draw a darker red. I'm enjoying drawing in red at the moment. Those who are regular watchers of these videos will know that I switch between red and blue. As funnily enough, the colours of Spider-Man. So, as you can see here, I have a reference image of Spider-Man. And we're going to turn Spider-Man into Spider-Pig. It's pretty easy to do. Follow along and I'll teach it to you. Well, I mean, as best I can. So, let's start. So this is, obviously, we're going with this pose. It's got a nice, it's foreshortening. It is what we call a dynamic pose. So, yeah, a bit of fun. I'm going to start with the head. So, as we always do, let's just get in a circle for the head. Now, obviously, you could use this to draw actually Spider-Man if you want. I just like drawing Spider-Pig. For those of you who saw my recent... if you're on my Instagram, you'll see that I recently did Spider Pig in a scene. I had so much fun with it. I thought I'd teach everybody how to draw Spider Pig. It's basically like drawing Spider-Man, but just with a hair pig head instead of a human head, and hooves instead of feet. So let's get in the head there. We'll go for the body next. We keep it simple here on this channel. We don't worry about silly things like anatomy, because that would just be mental. Don't worry about that, alright? Anatomy's for losers. And by losers, I mean professional artists who are much better at drawing than me. Now, we've got one hand back. Oh, get off there, you little shitty bastardy thingy. That's the one body. Now, obviously, this hand doth be larger because it's coming towards us. He's firing his web at us. Spiderweb. So as you can see, obviously, when we're talking foreshortening, things are closer together. Obviously, his forearm and his arm aren't that short, but when you're looking at them, as in foreshortening sense, you don't see the whole thing. It's going to move this slightly in a bit. It might be too big at this stage, but we can adjust it. Don't panic. Let's just chuck in. I'm literally just going to chuck in a very simple shape here for the arm to start with, and then we'll maybe I'll chuck in a... now I lied to you because now I've just made it less simple by putting a little bit of arm muscly thingy in there. Now, shooting webby handy wise, I don't give Spider Pig all these fingers. Because, you know, pigs don't have fingers. They have hooves. So I like to give Spider Pig sort of one sort of big middle thing, right? One here, like that. And we'll give him a thumb as well. But I like chunky, nice and chunky, because he's a little bit tubby. He's a bit tubbier than your average Spider-Man is Spider Pig. That arm seems very big, but again, as I said, don't panic. Let's just rough some things in here. Let's go for the arm at the back now. So this is going to be smaller because it's going off into the distance. In the distance, it's Piggy's arm. Let's break it down into sections like we did when we were discussing dynamic poses in the video previous to this one. If you have not watched that, watch it. Not now. Or maybe, I don't know, watch it when you want, if you want to. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. So there's his knee, so let's just, I mean, we're not copying this exactly. Well, sort of exactly. Let's just rough out. So now, don't worry about feet for Spider Piggy, because although we've given him handy sort of fingery thingies, we're going to give him hooves, because we want it to be somewhat close to the truth of a pig. There's his front, so we do basic shapes, alright? So just basic shapes, like we always say. This one here, let's chuck in the basic shape of the top half, being the quad muscle there. It's his quad. I wanted to try and get technical there with anatomy speak, and I failed miserably, so let's move on. Let's chuck in the shin, I know that, and the calf muscle. But again, we don't want a foot. We're going to put in a little hoof, because he's a pig. Obviously, as you can see, I've given my character shorter limbs for his legs. In fact, probably a bit too short, if I'm honest. Let's maybe just make that longer a bit, shall we? Because I like Spider Piggy also to be a bit short, a bit dumpy, because he's a little pig. He's a little pig. He's not an athletic young man. Alright, so let's chuck in Spider Piggy's sort of other handy hoofy thingy. I'm just going to put in these little things here, right? So it's sort of like a hoof there, but with a thumb. He's a bit of a freak, isn't he, on Spider Piggy? Doesn't quite know what he wants to be in life. Does he want to be a man or a pig? Or a spider, in fact. Alright, so there's a basic mid-flight Spider Piggy basic shape. Let's chuck in facey features. So let's get our construction lines in. Obviously, Spider Pig has a big snout. So let's chuck in a nice circle here for Spider Piggy's snout. Now the good thing about Spider-Man / Spider Piggy is he's wearing a mask, so you don't have to worry about too many facial features. Let's chuck in the classic sort of weird Spider-Man eyes. And why that he went for this sort of shape? I don't know what shape spider eyes are, but he's gone for these real. I mean, he didn't make the choice, really, did he? He was created by the great man. God rest his soul. R.I.P. Okay, let's chuck in that. Let's give a Spider Piggy some ears. Although Spider Piggy, we know Spider Pig. I think Spider Pig. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Spider Pig actually originated from the Simpsons movie. Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't, because he's a pig. Look at it. It's the rest. Now I'm not going to make it. The head's not going to be as round. So what I'm doing here is I'm just, like I do with my drawing heads, I'm just giving it a bit more shape. So it's not just a round, I mean you can do a round head if you want, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to give this a little bit more shape to it. Now my Spider Pig, I'm going to give him, now obviously Spider-Man's quite fit, he's got some great pectorals going on, but not Spider Pig. Spider Pig has got some, I don't want to say breasts, I'm going to say man breasts, or man boobs. Which is fine, Now, I'm not going for this outfit of Spider-Man. I'm going to give Spider Piggy some more boots here. Boot-ish style thing going on. Obviously, on this one, this is the knee here. And then you can't see the shin because of the way here you can kind of see a bit of shin. We can maybe just give it a little hint of a shin there. But you won't really see it. But you will see, like I've done over here with this little lip for the boot, you will see a bit of a boot lip. So give it some boot lip. Give Spider Pig some boot lip. Alright, let's just join these little sections up now so they're not so like that. Alright, where are we at, Spider Piggy? Now he's shooting his web. That's weird. I don't really know where the web's the web comes from here, doesn't it? From this part here as web shooters. So the web sort of comes out like that. And then you can go like that. I always find I've tried drawing Spider-Man many times in my drawing career with varying levels of success. And the hardest thing I find about drawing Spider-Man is the actual webs of his suit. I don't know why I've always found it quite tricky. I mean, the face is probably the easiest part. It's when you get to the other areas like the boots and stuff like that, you're like, oh, it's annoying. It's time consuming as well. You know, come on. Time is money, Spider-Man. What's with all the bloody webs on your face? Alright, there we go. Now, glove-wise, again, I mean, I'm going to just give him quite distinct cut-off part for the gloves. I know Spider-Man's got, you know, different sections of different... So he's got a section like this, which is all sort of webbed part, red web. Now, my Spider Piggy does not have the big Spider-Man. No, he has a snout with spider legs. Like sort of this situation going on like that. Alright, Spider Pig shooting through the air. Let's section there. Let's put a line here for part of the glove. Like so. And I think. Let's get rid of this now. We don't need that anymore, really. That's probably our sketch for Spider Pig. Like that. Let's go. New layer. Let's bring down the opacity of that layer. Go back to the top layer. Let's go to black. Let's go to inking pens. Studio Pen. This is not the Studio Pen out of the box Studio Pen settings. If you want the settings for the Studio Pen, you can go to how to draw a polar bear, which is an old video now. I should probably update or give out the settings again. I won't do it in this video just for time wise, but yes, if you go to the how to draw a polar bear video that I have got, then you can get the settings for this particular Studio Pen. I mean, the Studio Pen comes with your, if you're using Procreate, of course, it comes with Procreate, but it's, yeah, this is not factory settings. So go there and get the actual settings for exactly what I'm using here. Well, that's terrible, isn't it? There we go. That's why we like Procreate, because when you draw terribly, it has little tricks that can save you and make you look far better than you really are. If anyone doesn't know the trick for the circle, just draw a circle. Oh no, oh dear, and then just hold down, right? And then you got this circle. I'm not lifting the pen, and then I'm going to tap on the screen and hold down, and there's a perfect circle. Okay, so that's how we do it. Now for this as well, I know that's not going to be perfect, but what I'm going to do, I'm not going to lift my pen, and it's going to hold a semicircle there for me until I can align it and make it look perfect. And that is how you do pretend to be a real artist. Okay, let's chalk in the rest of the head and this ear over here. Oop, that's bad, wasn't it? Oop, that was bad as well, wasn't it? That was slightly better. Not great, not perfect, but you know, slightly better. Alright, let's chuck in a little bit on the top here. I need to finish this off because I thought that was going to be hiding behind the snout, but it's not. So let's do that, and let's do a bit of that. Okay, let's go into this part. The arm. Chuck in our gloves. Yeah, so I recently did a Spider Pig. It was sort of, I don't know why I decided to do Spider Pig. What I actually wanted to do was, because it's been a while since I tried to draw Spider-Man, and I feel like I've got better in my art since the last time. Well, I definitely got better in my art since the last time I tried to draw Spider-Man, because I always used to try to draw Spider-Man because I loved Spider-Man. I still do love Spider-Man. I love you, Spider-Man. But I was, you know, so bad at the dynamic poses that I would just get so angry trying to draw Spider-Man, because he's always in these fantastic poses, and I could just never come close to trying to recreate them. It was just awful. So I'd get annoyed, and then I'm like, I hate you, Spider-Man. Why do you hate me? So then the other night, sitting down, I'm like, oh, what am I going to draw? I'm like, you know what I'm going to draw? I'm going to finally tackle Spider-Man. But then I started drawing Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, why don't I just draw Spider-Man, but as a pig? Which is obviously, we know it's all been done before. But yeah, so that's what happened. And then once I drew Spider-Pig, I was like, you know what? I should put Spider-Pig in a street, because, this is quite a cool pose of him sort of shooting through the air. It could do with a proper background. And I hate drawing backgrounds. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. I hated drawing backgrounds. And you know why? Because I'm rubbish at it. So I was like, no more. So just like I'm like, if I can tackle Spider-Man now, I'm tackling backgrounds. So the aim of the game was to spend some time on the actual background. I can't remember where I heard this before, but I think a lot of people have the same issues, and a lot of people don't enjoy doing backgrounds. They find it tedious and whatever. So a lot of people just go, eh. So, but I was watching a video by someone, I can't remember who it was by now, I'm sorry, but they said a good trick with backgrounds is to just treat your background, and it's true, like another character, because it is another character. I put a lot of time into learning to draw characters, into practicing my dynamic poses and creating different faces and characters, and to get better. So you got to treat drawing everything basically the same. It's like I'm terrible when it comes to drawing vehicles, and I realized the other day that I've got to just put in the effort and the time, and treat it like I'm drawing another character, because you really are. So that's what I did with the background. Took a lot of inspiration from one particular Instagrammer. I can't remember his freaking Instagram handle now, but I will put it in the I'll put it down below in the description part, because there's a guy on Instagram. There's a lot of people on Instagram that are great at art, but this one particular artist, I can't remember his Instagram right now, but he his background work is just amazing. Like, I could literally spent the other night. I just spent, I don't know how long, but for a long time, just literally going through his Instagram and watching his videos that he puts up of his process, and his backgrounds are just to death. So I will link his Instagram, or put his Instagram down below, so you can go and have a look. But I got a lot of inspiration from his stuff, and yeah, and once I started, I was just like, oh my god, why haven't I been drawing more backgrounds? This is actually great fun. Because once you get into the real nitty gritty details, if you decide to not treat it like a chore, and not treat it like, oh god, I gotta draw a background, I gotta do 100 freaking bricks for this building. If you just treat it like it's just another character, and the details are the fun part, like, it got so much. I had to stop myself, because I'm like, okay, I'm probably going over the top now, yeah, it was just so much fun. So just treat your backgrounds like they're another character, and have fun with it. See, now this is where I hate Spider-Man, because these are probably going to look awful. This is the spiderweb part. So I'm just sort of doing lines down here, and then we'll sort of try and connect them all. Oh god, this is going to be boring for people to watch. Maybe I should speed this particular part up, because no one wants to see me just sitting here drawing these. It's going to take a while. I just need my reference back actually quickly for a second. See, he hasn't got that many. I've gone too hardcore. Can't see those ones around there. Well, we're in it now. We're in it for the long haul, Spidey. I just realised that I will actually do those spiderweb bits in the colouring stage, because I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a second. So let's just make sure we've got all the detail that we want. A little extra little lines and stuff, some creases. And I think we can start colouring Spider. I'm not going to worry, I don't think, about the web at this stage. Colouring for Spider Pig, I mean, I go a pink, obviously, because there's a piggy. So I like a pink and a blue. So pink and blue. So pink for his face mask, and well, basically anywhere that Spider-Man's usually red, I make the pink colour. Let's chuck this in. Like so. Spider Piggy. Sweet Spider Piggy. Bit of pink in there. Pink in there and there. Doop de doop de doop. Pink in there. And I should just be doing the recolor. I know I should just be hitting the recolor. For those of you saying, what? Recolor? When you hit that in there, this thing comes up saying recolor with recolor little picker, and then you can literally just move this thing around and whatever. But yes, anyway, for those eye bits, I like just a darker pinky purpley colour, like so. White for the eyes, and then a blue colour for the rest of the suit, like so. Like so. Let's put that in there, and that in there. Alright, and that in there. Now let's do some shading, because that's a flat, so let's make this piggy pop. Clipping mask. So I do new layer, clipping mask, so that means I can't draw outside of the lines. Let's go a dark colour. Now this is just the way, I haven't said this in a while I don't think, but I usually say it in most of my videos. This is just the way I shade. You might look at it and go, oh my god, that's awful, and you're probably right. So I say, don't ever learn shading from me. Shouldn't learn anything from me, really, should you? But yeah, this is just the way I do it. Lazy man's way of doing it, really. But anyway, let's get in a bit. I basically, if you're wondering what my thought process is with shading, I literally just put it anywhere I think it should go. Which I come a cropper sometimes, especially when I'm doing a scene, and then I haven't really properly worked out, where the light's coming from, and then all of a sudden you've got a shadow, from a building in one particular direction, and then Spider Piggy's got shadowing somewhere else, and it just makes absolutely no bloody sense. But what can you do? I'll tell you what you can do, JK. You can learn to do it properly, mate. Probably. Alright, calm down. Well, you asked. I did. My fault. Actually, no, I don't want to do pink there, because I will get a darker... What's going on up here? Oh, low battery on my phone. Hold on a second, 20%. I better hurry up and get this done. So we've got a low battery warning. So we got to get a move on. Because my wife has moved the charger for the camera thingy. So, and she's not here right now, so I am now against the clock. So shading is going to become even worse than normal, because he's just going to have to rush through it. In fact, let's just get all of that in shadow, shade thing there. Now I said I was going to make that blue, but you know what? Battery's about to die, so let's just keep it all. Definitely not going to probably get out the spider webs for you, but I mean, I think everyone can work out the spider web stuff. You saw me start to draw it, so okay, shadowing there, some shadowing under here, like so, shadowing on the hands and fingery thingies. Look out, it's Spider Pig. Where are we at time? It's 24 minutes. We're doing okay for time. Okay. And then. Okay, let's just drop this opacity quickly, see where we're at with this shadowing. Still needs a bit more here going on. Really emphasise the fact that Spider Pig is probably not quite match fit, shall we say, to be fighting crime, but he does his best. That's all we can ask of Spider Piggy. Just do your best, mate. Try and save us as much as you can from the evil men and women and others of the world. The forces of evil. Okay, there we go. Very conscious that this camera just cuts out at some point, so if it does, well. Now, as I said, I don't know if we're going to get spider web stuff in. But what I would do, just so you know, is I'll go new layer. I will get a sort of, again, a darky pink colour, and then I'll draw the webs like this, using the darky pinky colour. Oh, that's probably not right, is it? And then we'll chuck in these, like so. And then obviously continue it on, and then I'll just drop the opacity down like that, so we still get those lines in there. Because what I was thinking earlier was, one, the black lines are probably a little bit too harsh, and two, obviously drawing these black lines, when it comes time to colour, the way I colour with the drop bucket, it would have been an absolute nightmare. I would have had to go one by one by one by one. I mean, I could have used the recolour thing, which is fine, but again, this is just obviously we only have to do it once. That is preferable. Just going around basically like so. I think it's all supposed to sort of meet up in the middle, like a web, funnily enough. I haven't done it that well, but as I said, I've always for some reason found this the hardest part. Apart from, well, back in the day it was drawing the poses of Spider-Man, but there's bloody webs on the face. Very time consuming, and also I find confusing in some spots. I'm like, are they supposed to be facing that way or the other way? Do they go up or they go in or out? You know, the best thing to do is just to look at reference of Spider-Man. But yes, anyway, there we go. What are we doing here? Let's quickly get in some. I'd like to see if I can finish this. Don't want it to go that high. What am I doing? It's going to be probably a bit messy, but I'm sure you'll forgive me, won't you? Please forgive me. This is a quicker way of doing it. It's probably, again, not right. But hey, it's Spider Piggy. He ain't perfect, or she ain't perfect, or they ain't perfect. Just trying to do their best. Much like me. I have an affinity with Spider Pig. We're just trying to do our best. We're just two overweight little, porkies. Just trying to do our best. Trying to make life better for other people. Alright, let's again, I don't know, let's go. And even joining up now. Come on, mate, let's just try and act slightly professional with your art. Bloody sloppy Joe over here. Yep. If you thought my videos were bad, try watching them when he's trying to work against the clock. I wouldn't be any good at those time. There's other very good artists who go, oh, here's a time challenge. I'm going to give myself 30 seconds to draw the greatest piece of art I ever have, and they just come out with some amazing art, and I definitely wouldn't probably do that. Alright, and then I want to lines the back here. Now I did have someone, because I was sort of talking about the background scenery. I did have someone who follows me on Instagram. Jamie said to me, "Would you consider doing a tutorial on the buildings and doing buildings in perspective?" And I did say I probably won't. Now the reason is I'm still myself in the process of trying to improve. So I don't believe I'm in the current space that I'm at that I can do a proper. As I said, these are not tutorials, but I don't believe I can properly sit there and show you how I do it, because I'm still, as I said, in that process of improving myself. So the best thing I think for me to do is just continue that journey and direct you to other YouTubers who are far better than I am. For instance, if you go back far enough, I know Jazza on here on YouTube. He does less tutorials these days, but he did start doing lots of tutorials, and he has a lot of, or 3 or 4 tutorials on perspective drawing buildings and scenery in perspective. So that's a good one. Brad's Art School is also another good one. I actually watched one of his videos the other day. He does great tutorials on perspective as well. So if you look up those 2 pages, obviously there's heaps of them, but those are just 2 in particular that I've come across that I thought were particularly good. So check those guys out. And once I'm at a level, I think, where I can add my own flair to the subject, then of course I will do that. But for now, we'll stick to just drawing pigs as Spider-Man. We may even get all these webs done before the bloody camera cuts out. How's that? Eh? Don't speak too soon. I won't. If there is anything in particular you would like me to do a video on, I'm happy to look at it. As I said, if I don't think I have the capability to do it, I will. I won't just ignore it and say, "Oh, well, I can't do that, so soz." No, I will. What I will do is I'll direct you to somewhere. If I don't think I've got the ability to help you, I will direct you to where I think you can learn, or something like that. Someone said to me, someone messaged me the other day and said, "Why do you keep directing people to other channels? Surely they're your competition." Well, firstly, no, they're not my competition, because generally they're better artists than I am. So to say I'm their competition would be insulting to them. But also because I want people to learn to draw, because I think drawing is just lots of fun, and I think everyone should draw. So if it means if I can't help you doing something specifically, then of course I'm going to send you somewhere else, because why wouldn't I? Why would I just go, "Oh, well, no, sorry, I don't know how to do that, so you're not going to learn it either." So yes, so if I can't do it, I will direct you to somewhere where someone will be able to. Because I'm a good guy. All right, there we go. Spider Piggy, Spider Piggy, Spider Piggy. I'm sorry, I'm slightly extra hyper today for some reason, because I'm just loving drawing Spider Piggy. Let's chuck in a flicker of reflection. See, this is where I come unstuck with putting my light in the right spots, because I'm contradicting areas, but that's alright. I'm just going over the top of the darker areas where there we go. There is, I haven't done the web. Let's minimize that. Let's go a new layer. Obviously white's not going to work, so Spider Piggy fires out pink. It comes from there. So let's just go, start thin. So if you've got a pressure sensitive pen, which I hopefully you do if you're using a tablet, start soft and then push harder and harder until we get a line like that. It's going to come out of there, and then just web it up, and then you can fit once you can do. I'm not going to have time to do this, but you can use lighting and shadowing to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. Let me just go down this side. You're saying the light's coming from the other way, so you need a bigger brush, airbrush. Just going to airbrush down the side here, so much like I would with my shadowing for that. Ooh. Push it up a little bit. And I want it darker as well, a little bit darker on the edges down here. There we go, but I haven't got time. I'm running out of the time. Bit of light on this side. So you want it to look so three-dimensional as he's firing it off. Let's quickly merge them all together. Let's put him in one of my scene I drew for the other spider pig and see how he looks. I don't know if I'm going to have layers available on the other one. Here's the other spider pig. This is the other spider pig scene I made, this guy. Yeah, we're out of layers. So let's... We've got 2 spider pigs in here, so let's get rid of one. Just chuck him in the scene. He might not work in this scene, but you never know. Okay, drag him over into this scene. Come on, plus sign, where are you? Don't fail me now! Here we go, importing. Spider pigger. You need it. I need to do a little bit of playing around with lighting and stuff on this one. Let's get rid of that. I don't know if he'd work in this scene because I didn't obviously design this scene for him. Yeah, no, he's not really angled right, is he? You could put him somewhere, I don't know, up there maybe. Maybe that would work. And then I just do Clippy Mask and he needs a bit of shadowing on this side. I'm rushing this now, but just trying to fit him into a scene he wasn't made for. Let's get darker, and then I'll just pull back the opacity on this in a second. Erase up. Get the highlighty parts here. Just erase out that shadowing there that I've put on, just to get a little bit of a rim light going. Let's have any on it. No. There you go. Sort of get the idea. So, spider pig in this scene, as I said, this scene here, this is the one that I spent quite a bit of time on. It's all about, I think, the miniature details. So I put in, a little guy down here with his barbecue, but I sort of really went to town on the details, like the scummy dirt and stuff on it. He's cooking some stuff on the barbecue, even down to the sign on there. Even up here, on top of the roof, putting in this sort of section up here, another little character hiding up there. Then just these little bits of detail with the wiring on the walls, the cracks in the walls, some plants going out the walls. This is my favourite part of the whole illustration. is this little padlock part here. I don't know why, I just like it. The weeds coming out of the street, little cat walking down, making sure that, the sign's bent, there's rubbish on the streets. It's about populating your scene is what I'm learning when it comes to backgrounds, not just having a flat scene with nothing in it. Just to the skid marks from a car on the street, the cracks in the road, just it's those the little minuscule details that people might not even pick up on. But even down, you wouldn't even see this. I wouldn't have thought people looking at the page, like they're just cracks in the window seal. There's a little more of this stuff going up the wall, a little light on the inside there. I don't know, a table of some sort in there. Even around this corner here, like these lines and the dots and the rivets that they represent. But again, you don't even see it. It's so far away. My wife was even saying to me, I was like, why are you doing all that? You can't even see there. But yeah, it's a little car down here, a hole in the road. So when it comes to the backgrounds, I know this was about Spider Pig, but when it comes to backgrounds, detail, and you'll find that you actually really enjoy it when you start chucking in details like the thing that connects. First of all, when I first drew this, I just had a drain pipe in there, or this weird drain pipe, and I was like, well, it wouldn't just sort of hang there; it would be connected to the wall. So then I drew in these little connection points. There's little, as I said, cracks in the wall. Some of these boards here are broken. So there we go. But that's Spider Pig anyway, in the dirty streets. So there you have it, Spider Piggy. I hope you enjoyed drawing Spider Pig, or even Spider Man, or Spider Koala, or Spider whatever you want to turn into. And have a crack at the backgrounds. As I said, treat it like a character. Get stuck in. Let's get better at backgrounds together. Tag me at anything you do on Instagram. I'd love to see all your artwork, especially if you do Spider Piggy. I want to see it. But anything at all. Got any questions for me? Comment section below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like it. If you don't like any of it, that's fine as well. Neither does my wife.